I will do a sound check by asking for thumbs up, which students can actually physically indicate by raising a finger for me to know you can hear me. So I'll quickly do a sound check. Can you hear me? Please, you can raise your hands up. Excellent. Okay. So thank you very much again. It's an opportunity to always join and give back to my community. Such that you are supposed to be creators, right? You are supposed to make new innovative changes in the society. Think about it. What societal problem are we trying to solve? Give it a second. Think about it. Okay? So look at it. So we define problem before we think about technology. Don't just jump into technology. Okay, you call yourself a technology guru and expert. It means nothing if it doesn't solve a business problem. It means nothing. Okay? Note this. Technology students are going to work into business environments. If you are creating a technology solution, it's to solve a business problem. So note this. So what are the business problems which mobile money conceived and thought is going to solve? Look at it. First, financial exclusion. We want to include some people. Think about it. Large populations in the villages don't have bank accounts. They are not connected to bank's account, right? They cannot transfer or transport themselves to local areas where they have banks because costs and time, and of course, when you're transporting money, also robbery, right? Okay, think about the operational constraint. Those of you who go to banks, go to deposit money, long queue, okay, or take some time, hours to be able to transfer money in the bank and things like that. Think about it. You are a farmer. You need to receive money or send money. You are in the farm, cocoa farm. What do you do, right? So these are the concept which mobile money was thinking about, right? And then daily transaction of cash and handling in business, if you're in the market as well, okay? So that's the societal problem which the business was thinking about before even thinking about technology. That was giving the thought about it, okay? Then now, validate the demand before you start building. You're thinking, you give a thought about the societal problem. This is happening, but do you think people will need it, and how many people will need it, and does it add value? Which means, is it cost effective? So, is there a real audience or a market for that? Okay, so how many people face this challenge, this problem? Think about the demography of Cameroon or Africa. Think about it. How many people are in the rural areas? Even in the cities, how many people have access to banks and how fast it is? Okay, so how frequent do we need financial transaction? Okay, and what is the current solution? Is it usable? Okay, and then of course, how do business people use it, merchants, and how are they affected? And what is the willingness to adapt? Willingness to adapt. Okay, then we have to see that. I'll speed up because I think we have limited hours and a lot of slides. So a solution is only valuable if it addresses a widespread need and it's meaningful. There is a need, which we try to address it in the beginning, the problem, and then it becomes meaningful. So what is then, so there is a need, it's meaningful, but can we implement it? Is it cost effective with a population that is in these rural areas be able to afford for it? Maybe that's the reason why you don't have a vaccine for malaria. Can you all afford for malaria vaccine and the rest? Does it make sense as a pharmaceutical company to just produce a vaccine? COVID was produced in less than 6 months, but malaria, the audience, would they pay for that vaccine? Maybe not. But however, think about it. What is the simplest and most cost-effective solution to implement, to be implemented that will benefit the audience? Okay, what solution removes the friction? What can scale and affordable for the population? And what kind of infrastructure can we leverage? What infrastructure, what is needed in these villages to be able to support it? So you have that in mind, then we can build our case as to what mobile money does and why it's doing this way. And you can see the evolution. Okay. But then let's quickly look at some aspects. So the real problem with accessible technology. So we spent, okay, and why they have to do it is very important. The problem is starting points. Okay, so technology intentionally, okay, intentionally to solve a problem. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, and please, for the hosts, if there is a glitch in the sound or transformation of my video, please let me know, because I hear some information output coming from the audio from Zoom. Okay, now that we have discussed business reason, we've done our market survey, and we've also established that there's an audience and everything with Blue Money, right? And you have now different agencies or agents who are doing that. And of course, it works on. So this is the core. When we talk about rural areas, we talk about people from farms and villages and the rest. So this is the core. It works on basic phone features, not just smartphones. And you would know why, and you'll see. Okay, so that's the core. Okay, and successfully look at the progression. Okay, so mobile money has grown significantly also in Cameroon and across Africa. So you can see the evolution, right, from year after year. So 2014 till 2024, as this data shows from the time I'm able to assemble this from the research. So you can see the percentage of growth, okay, which mobile money has done. And of course, think about it in COVID periods where people don't meet, come together. So this was a significant boost also for this economy, okay, for mobile money, because then people do things easier, transfer money and the rest, and you can see the level of adoption, right? So this chart basically shows below is this dark green. It shows that financial institutions account only, so those who have only accounts in banks. Okay, in the middle here, like light blue, then you have those who have accounts in like banks and mobile money accounts. Okay, and then this kind of purple, then you see the value for those who are actually adding mobile money alone. So you see how it keeps adding, right? You see year on year on. So there's a significant growth as it moves across, right? So which means the adoption in percentage is extremely high. So therefore, there is an audience, there is a market for that, and it makes sense for mobile money to continue to invest in that, right? So the key player, of course, as discussed in Cameroon, then it's MTN, Orange, then Camtel with Blue Money, okay? And then in the CIMAC region, think about it, 96% of transactions, okay, is done, financial transaction, okay, is done through mobile money, movement of mobile money. These are actually, don't mix it up here. These are actually frequency of people using cash in the villages, in the farms and the rest, right? 10,000 francs, 20,000 francs, whatever, because life goes on, or pay school fees and things like that. Because is this actual transaction that you know the relevance of people and what they do in life, okay? But however, in terms of volume or amount of cash transferred, banks still do that, because of course you want to move huge amount of money through a bank transfer. But how many local people always do that? Therefore, the essence is put money into people's pocket and people's hands as fast as possible so they can do meaningful transfer. Okay, so that is the problem which mobile money does, and that is significant growth. Now, this is so for those who wanted to understand the business concept, the knowledge behind it, and the raison d'etre, we touched that part. Now we're shifting a little bit now into the technical usage, and of course, what you see on your screen. Okay, so the technology behind mobile money transaction, okay, system, that's what we're going to discuss about. So you use short codes, which is actually through what they call USSD transaction. Okay, so this is a USSD. So if you type, for example, for mobile money, *126# hash, yeah. And what is the goal? Think about it. This technology works with GSM network. Okay, GSM network. So which means that you need only an antenna and a tower somewhere located. okay, to be able to make this connection. So it's the session-based technology where if you enter one, it comes back with a menu, you type two, it goes back, and the rest. So it's a session-based, okay? And then we gradually be looking at using the technology, what we see, and of course, what are the security challenges? Know this, for cybersecurity students, I may have to disappoint you in that most business executives think first about what we discussed before they think about technology, security. Okay. Unfortunately, the goal is to engineer security in the beginning. But of course, most business in the real world says we will cross the bridge when we get there. Okay, because they want to make the money first and think about security. And that's the reason why we are having this lecture, to be able to how to decipher and understand the security challenges. But of course, this is a simple and very nice solution, which we are going to see how the security challenges are met. Okay, so now look at a normal. So the mobile money was kind of designed for this kind of phones. Tell me why. Think about it. This user in the village or in the farm does not need data, does not need internet bundle. Why would I have 5,000 francs as my MTN Momo credit and be paying internet bundle? No. So it's cost effective. I don't need to have internet to be able to receive Momo on this phone, which you normally call in Cameroon Chironko, right? So the least minimum amount of device you are able to implement a technology solution. That's ingenious, right? So with a little device, you are able to implement that. Now look at it. So where are they taking advantage of? The GSM 2G network, 2G, is widely available everywhere, in the villages, in the mountains, everywhere. You may not have internet connectivity, nothing, but this is the first initial development of mobile providers and antennas, and this can work across different antennas. Okay, so with this GSM network, you basically have texts back and forth. Okay, and that suffices. Only text information, no voice on that. Okay, text information, okay, which can be transferred. Okay, but of course, the protocol behind that, which you will see, which is a SS7, then supports then both voice and text, right? But you can see the evolution here, that you have two. Most of you, if you move with your phone to the villages and the rest, you start looking for reception, you'll be saying maybe 2G. Just forget it. If you cannot have 2G, then forget it. You can never have 3G or 4G. Okay, just forget it. So the basic which you would be able to have is 2G, and this 2G does not support internet connectivity. Basically, you can be able to send a text messages and the rest, right? You can say, I don't have connection, I don't have network, but you can send Momo. Okay, you cannot make a WhatsApp call, but you can send Momo. And this is the major thing, okay? And of course, with this, it has a minimum security vulnerability, but it's manageable and it's understandable and it's okay, which you're going to see. Okay, and then as you go across the ladder, you're going to see different challenges. But let's hold on for here and let's move ahead. Now, look at this platform. So you see, which are from the first column, you see a typical user with your basic smartphone, right? You type in your #126 star, okay, *126 hash, and then you press in. It sends it now to your closest antenna beside you, closest mobile antenna, regardless of internet or whatever, but this is a 2G antenna or network would be able to pick that, okay? And then this antenna will forward it to a Momo service, which has this short code. Of course, there's an API, which is a RESTful API for software engineers. They know this, an API implementing that from this GSM network into the Momo backend service, which handles the whole manipulation, okay? And then it sends back information back and forth. Now, you may ask me, what is unsecured here? Two areas are a bit unsecured. However, it can be mitigated. If you are pressing *126 and you have to put your PIN, what you need to protect is somebody looking over your shoulder to copy your PIN. That's where you have to protect, right? And once you send it, it's a session base. So of course, even if somebody sniffs it, before you do any manipulation, the session must have expired. So it's session based, okay, back and forth here. But the other area of vulnerability is that the Momo service sends back to the user SMS message. An SMS message is a text, is a plain text. So typically, most people with simple devices, you can capture and sniff an SMS message. And for those of you who have been scammed, believe me, those who capture the SMS message know exactly how much balance you have because mobile money messages tells you transaction received, what is a new balance. Therefore, those who hack you basically use that message to kind of scam you because they know how much balance you have and they can never hack you more than the amount you have in your account. But let's proceed. Okay, so these are the basic sequence here. Okay, basic phone, tile that, put in that, the SSD, US SSD forwards it. Okay, and then back and forth and the rest. So we'll carry on. Okay, so the USSD transaction, of course, is real-time, session-based, interacting, and the rest. Okay. One other means which you can be hacked is if your SIM is tagged by or swapped. If they swap your SIM, we're going to talk about that very soon. Okay. Or they spoof your US SSD code, which of course, because it's session-based, it doesn't last that long. Okay, but then you have what they call the signaling system 7 exploits, which can of course always happen, but at the back end from the side of a Momo service, which you as a front end user, you don't really matter that much because you don't do that. It doesn't matter that much for you. But then the SMS messages which are being sent, sometimes some provider sends you the OTP one-time code for authentication. Okay, and of course, some send you some messages which you use back and forth for confirmation of your transaction. So just keep that in mind, and we will see a little bit more later. Okay, but then for the activity which happens if you're using the USSD transaction compared to the SMS transaction. So what is the difference? USSD is when you press 1, it goes back and it comes back with a menu option. You press 2, it goes back, you press your PIN. This is actually a USSD transaction. Once you are done, you receive your cash or you send cash. The mobile money center or service sends you an SMS. This is out of your USSD transaction, okay? And this SMS now is a completely different circle. So this SMS is less secure, okay? While your USSD is kind of secured because it's a session-based. So it can be hacked, but the end user or the hacker might not have enough time to manipulate because it's session-based, okay? Except they do a SIM swap, which means they kind of hijack your session because it's redirected to a different SIM card, okay? So again, the area of challenges or vulnerability, as mentioned before, you would see here on point 4, where somebody can look over your shoulder and copy your PIN. Okay, and then from the side of the Momo platform, okay, they would send a message as SMS to confirm if transaction has been completed successful or not. They will send as an SMS, and note that that SMS can be sniffed. So with a simple device, information can be collected from that. Okay, on the right, there are some possible explanation, decrypting, encrypting, where it's been encrypted, and the rest, and things like that. And also know that in processing at the side of this bank to process your information to be able to send you money and the rest, the session which is encrypted, it gets decrypted to be able to do that processing. So someone at the level of MTN banking operation or whatever, of course, can be able to manipulate that information. Okay, can be able to manipulate that information. Assume that you have someone who can do that. Okay, so let's fire on. Now, how are you vulnerable? Think about it, and this is also very important for our cybersecurity students or the cybersecurity students. You are trained to be able to protect the system, protect data and information, okay? But meanwhile, hackers for mobile money transaction or other transaction don't really care about that. They are actually attacking or targeting the person you are trying to protect their information. Think about it. Social engineering is all about psychological manipulation of people. That's all. if I'm able to manipulate a user to give me their password for their phone or password into their bank account, then no matter what cybersecurity solution you're implementing, it doesn't help because the user himself or herself has given access to that information, right? So that's what. So these guys doing social engineering, they are experts. They learn, they conceive, they design messages to be able to pick on your emotion. Okay, they create first of all trust, then they create fear, and then also urgency. Okay, so it's psychological manipulation to be able to get people to subdue and give them something. So this is, it's not like a gunpoint, but it's more of emotional manipulation. Okay, so what do they do? They create a panic attack, right? Social engineers do not rely on technical backdoors, which has been designed by the cybersecurity experts. They don't rely on that. They use their psychological tricks to bypass those, bypass your logical thinking. So it's more about deception. Okay, so they design to override person's logic of creating immediate emotional responses. Okay, so look at it. How do they do? What investigation? What are these social engineers? How are they doing? How do they come about? Most of you have profiles. You have TikTok profiles, you have LinkedIn profiles, you have Facebook profiles, you have everything, right? So they do their homework. The social engineers, they do their homework. They scan your LinkedIn profile for contacts, where you live, information, who knows you, who links, who connects to you. Go to your Facebook profile, your photos, who connects to you, who do you know and how you live. Go to your connect, maybe even also connect, maybe probably on WhatsApp channel if possible. For those of you who are doing marketing on social media or WhatsApp, they join your channel and see your phone number, see what you do and the rest. And then they develop a rapport, connect with you, try to get more information from you. And then because they have gathered more personal data, they send you an urgent message. Alert, this happened. I bought this from you and I bought this quantity, and unfortunately, I oversent this amount of money. Please, I'm in a crisis. I'm in a hospital. Send back the money immediately, within 2 hours. Or I'm a mobile MTN operator. We are doing system migration, and we have a glitch in your mobile account. Please send me this OTP code immediately. Otherwise, your account will be blocked and your mobile money will be frozen. Or we notice from MTN that you travel to this location and therefore you are at risk. Your account will be blocked. Please enter this code immediately. Otherwise, you have no access to all your money. Create panic, right? And therefore, you provide that information so they're able to then pull everything from you, from your money. Okay, so this is kind of the reason or the exploits in social engineering. Is more explained in visualizations and the rest than anything else. So research is done, rapport is created, the hook, which means manipulating via phishing, a phone call, because I know everything about you. I can even quote your friends and the rest. Okay, and then we exploit the vulnerability by bypassing the technical controls, which has been designed by cybersecurity experts. Okay, so look at this case, social engineering hook. This is a lady in the market and receive this alarm. Please confirm you have received this amount of money from this person. Your new mobile balance is this. Because, of course, they know how much in your mobile balance. They know that, right? So, but that money is not in your mobile balance. The new balance is actually your balance. So, and they will tell you, I'm very sorry. I sent that money to your number by mistake, but my mother is sick in the hospital and please kindly send back as soon as possible. God bless you. Apply religious to it. And we are a religious society. God bless you. This mother is scared. Called the daughter, or the daughter, she shouted, maybe, Jesus, What has happened to this person? The daughter came and said, validate. Oh my God, let's send it back immediately. You send back that amount of money. Sorry, it's gone, right? So, so this is important. So I just have to, I'm not sure if the video screens are blocking what I'm saying. So the exploits, so exploiting urgency, so relying on credentials, right, and trust. So, and then the actual theft, okay, is done. So, how to stay safe? Very important. How do we stay safe? One, never authorize a transaction on trust. Never on trust. If someone claims they send you money by mistake, you should initialize first a balance check for yourself. You check a balance to be able to know that happens. In some cases, you also have to be watchful, because by checking your balance, sometimes you may put your PIN and then they actually scam your PIN. Okay, so do not trust SMS confirmation or sent by you with a regular number, because most mobile services, they have a short code where you will see mobile money, MTN or Momo, but because they create an alert, they create some kind of an urgency. You don't check that it's coming from a private number. You don't check. You don't see that. You don't, because you basically have that. If you check, you'll see it coming from a private number, but you don't check that, right? So also tell whoever is crying or complaining, tell whoever to use official channels, because they can call MTN, they can call Orange and the rest to do the reversal for them. Okay, if it's legit that it happened that way, they can call those to do the reversal. Okay, so please never depend on this kind of thing. Don't take actions yourself. It's very important. Okay, now let's look at the whole transaction here. Okay, you press. So this is very important, because now you see, normally most of you with mobile money or with these phones, you don't really know what happened, right? You consume technology, you don't actually know what is happening behind it. You don't just care, but it's important you do know. Okay, so you press that, you dial whatever thing, it goes through this antenna tower. Okay, and then from the tower, it forwards it again to the mobile money platform. So this could be an application here, an enterprise application service, process that, and the rest pin, and it sends you back the whole thing with an SMS message. Again, these sessions here up here is more or less session based, this section, and here is an SMS message which you received. Okay, and this basically tells you area of vulnerability again. So confirm to SMS, and here you can also have a hack, right? A SIM hack. Okay, so so you can have that. Okay, and therefore here also then you can also have that. So, but basically that is it. Now the SIM swap risk. So know this, right? Social engineers would call you and ask you or write information to you to be able to send you their OTP connection. No, what does that mean? Some services require for validation. Maybe like Orange, for instance, may ask you this OTP. If you have that code, you're able to even reset the PIN. So someone can call a mobile provider, okay, impersonating you because they have got enough of your personal information by their research. Call MTN or Orange and tell them, this person, sorry, I lost my SIM, or I don't have, or maybe even I'm such a location, I want to reset I forgot my password and things like that for my PIN. They send you the OTC thing. They send it to the OTP, this one-time code. It will go to the victim, the real owner of a phone, not to the frauder or not to the hacker. It goes to the real owner of that phone. But what happens? The hacker is also on the phone with the victim, telling the victim that I'm sending you a code because your account might be blocked for one reason or other. Please send me that code immediately. So the code is sent to him, the frauder, and the frauder can be able to use that code to change your SIM, your mobile money PIN. Simple as that. So tricking mobile operators by faking identity, receiving that message, and then you're also or tricking the victim to access the user's phone line, and then of course you link that now to their card and things like that, and you basically hijack the card or their Momo account. Okay, so and again here it's basically showing areas of leaks and possible attacks and possible breakdown in communication. But most important is this SMS which is being sent here. Either it's the one-time code or your transaction balance. All of this can be hacked, can be picked up when it comes to SMS, and someone can use it then to impersonate or to do a SIM swap or to hack your accounts. Okay, so to stay safe, keep your PIN, as simple as that. Keep your PIN secret. Beware of the SIM swap. Beware of that. Okay, beware of that, and prevent swapping with SIM swap with your carrier. So you have to always prevent that. So if your one-time code is hijacked, because normally note that if they send that code, they will always tell you, don't give that code to anyone. Mobile operators will not ask you for that code. Mobile operators will not ask you for that code. Okay. Now, the whole discussion we've been having, of course, the entire network functions with a basic Chironko. This one, which means that with the 2G network, all we've been discussing suffices. So in the village, in the farm, in the remote areas and everything suffices and works well. And that's it. And it's kind of safe, as long as people don't pick over your shoulder with your PIN, or you protect yourself from this one-time code, which can be hijacked through your SMS. Okay, or somebody actually give you a call and you forward that information, which you're not supposed to do. You can be kind of safe in that perspective, but be careful. Now, think about it. People said to make life better for power users, those who are in the cities, those who have a lot of money to be able to afford and easier. Not everybody likes to press *12# code and this back and forth. You press one, you do that. No. You have your nice smartphone, okay, and therefore you are a friend of mobile apps, then mobile money provides other options. But note, these options, again, think about it, requires internet connectivity. A mobile app will not work without internet. So there's always a fallback. So that's what makes the mobile money solution quite ingenious and quite good for our market. There's a fallback to 2G, right? Even if you don't have internet, you should be able to send someone money. No excuses. Okay. However, the idea now here is that with mobile apps, what are also the challenges that you face and what are the opportunities here? It's faster, easier, you can do more and the rest, but it comes with its own challenges. So we are now moving from 2G now into this kind of technology line, right? So the mobile infrastructure. Okay, so you'll see that the GSM network functions with a basic, of course, smartphone should do the job of a normal basic phone, but think about it, a basic phone, I have here 10,000 francs, but my students tell me you can have a Chirongo phone maybe for 3,000 francs. Okay, and it can save with all Momo transaction. And again, you can see on the phone, no internet, no voice, just SMS. They're good. Okay, even if it's voice, but SMS, they're good. Why no voice here? Because maybe they don't care about putting data, right? They don't care about putting data. So which means that it's cost effective. Putting the business at cost effective, and you see the band here, widespread, is reliable, and of course it's using the USSD, which is a session based, and it depends on 2G or Edge. You are fine, and you're ready to go. Okay, assuming that you know about the security mitigations or how to stay safe. And on the other side, you have the smartphone, MTN, Momo, or Orange, or maybe Blue, Camtel. So there you have smartphones. To be able to have a meaningful smartphones that can last for some time for your transaction, maybe 50,000 francs. This is my estimate, okay? So this kind of my estimate, okay? So, and then, of course, then you have your transaction costs, data, and the rest, SMS, and then of course you have to buy data. Okay, and you see the wireless signal, you have to buy data for internet to be able to use it. Okay, and then what are also the challenges here? Okay, in the case of this, so you have on the left side here, I would say you have the victim where you have, of course, there's a false security. Okay, US is blocked. So we have here, you either have your hard SIM card. Okay, if you don't have your hard SIM card, then how do the hacker hack you? The hacker can hack you using your OTP, right? Which means that they actually call your company or call the mobile provider. The mobile provider sends the OTP one time to the user having the SIM card, but this same hacker is in connection with the user, claiming that something is wrong, claiming that he's my provider, getting that your OTP to be able to hack you, right? But this is a challenge here, and it's also important for the mobile applications. Think about it. With the Orange app, from my testing, for my research, with the Orange app, you need your OTP to be, once you put your phone number, it asks you for the OTP to be able to validate you and install on your phone and give you access to the account. Oh, so what does that mean? I can call a victim while I also request that from the mobile company that I forgot my PIN for my mobile money account. They send the OTP to the victim. The victim sends it to me because the victim thinks that I'm the operator, and then I log in to the app, and then I can do my transaction. You see? So this way, I'm able to bridge that, to jump over that hurdle, because I'm able to go that OTP. Okay. So this is the version where a user would have to be you may have your Chironko phone in the village, but you don't know that somebody has installed a mobile app and is also able to hack your account. But the mobile app has its own usage for that. Of course, I'm not working for Orange to manipulate that, to tell you much about that. But however, look at the message now on the left side, right? So the Orange one, we are performing a line reconfiguration of your number. You will soon receive an SMS code. Okay, please forward the code to this chat immediately. You see, the user is contacting you on WhatsApp. Okay, to forward the OTP code, claiming that they are actually performing that from Orange tech support. Okay, and maybe you don't care, or most people don't know the numbers on top. Maybe it's from a user, they cannot differentiate that, right? Particularly because the title says alert from Orange tech support, and therefore you fall into that. You give him that number, and then he goes ahead and installs his app on that, right? Okay, so that happens. So now you have, again, this is the interface to Orange. Do that, and again, it says, this is what it says from the Orange how to open the app or open Orange numbers. Okay, so you open the Orange or you download the app, verify the one-time OTP. That's what it says. Send by SMS. Okay, and then Orange specifically notes that users are prompted for code after entering that. Okay, and then you are authenticated. Then you can move on. Okay, then you can move on. So they have actually authenticated you. Give me a second here. So you are set to go with that. Okay, just give me a second. My screen, I'm seeing so many information here. Okay, try to reduce that so my screen is not cluttered. So once you have that code, you can start using the app based on the information that is sent here. Okay. Now you see, so what really matters? So the OTP code is sent by SMS. You can register, and you do validation with your Orange PIN because you have that. You can even reset the PIN, and you can move ahead. Okay. And now, what are the limitations? So for the first time, you have to verify that, okay, send your SMS to your wallet if the SMS is okay. If the SIM is not in device, of course, you need to access the device for the first time to get it. It means that once you connect with the user the first time and get that OTP and the rest, then you are gone. You can use it, no problem. Okay, but now look at Momo, MTN Momo. Okay, I'm not working for MTN Momo, so I'm not marketing MTN Momo, but however, MTN Momo goes ahead to solve one problem. Now, MTN Momo, which I use, it says that to install it, it ensures that the SIM card is also on the phone which you want to install. So make sure that your SIM card is linked to the profile. SIM card on the device is linked to the profile which you want to connect to be able to set up this Momo app. Okay, and then, of course, then you can log in. Okay, but so where Orange Money stops because you use the OTP, MTN Mobile Money takes it a step further by ensuring that the SIM, not only the OTP, but ensuring that the SIM card is in the device for the app to install successfully, not sending the OTP code. Okay, but then I had to actually try to then see how I can bypass or what I can do afterwards. Okay, it means that after doing the linkage on my phone, I'm able to remove my SIM card from the phone. If I remove the SIM card from the phone, I can go in and sign in using my fingerprints and everything, right? So I connect with the card on the phone, I install biometric fingerprints and the rest, or even the Momo pin. I remove the SIM card and it works. I did that, tested that prior to this. It works once there's no SIM card. So which means after installation, I can continue ahead. So which means that if somebody is able to go to Momo, MTN office, print their SIM cards, impersonating you, do that installation, they're able to still be able to use it even if you don't have a SIM card until the user goes to MTN Momo and MTN Momo is able to block you. So one step is solved, but another hurdle still remains to be corrected. Okay. So again, how to stay safe. Platform. Note this, please. Real telecom support will never use a WhatsApp chat. Okay, with standard privacy settings. They'll use their WhatsApp specific chat for tech support. Look at the top, you will see the tech support for mobile money and the rest. They will use that, not with specific telephone numbers here. You will see that, except that you have gone into the mobile money shop and you take contact with a specific worker in that shop who says, contact me through WhatsApp. Then you have been to that shop physically. Okay, the request itself, legitimate service will never ask you to send back to them or through WhatsApp or whatever means an OTP message. They will not. Okay. So the threat. So official customer support generally does not threaten immediate service interruption. They don't threaten that. Okay. They don't. They request you to come to the center and everything. They don't threaten. So the whole thing is that. So the process here, which I'm trying to reiterate, is that social engineering is all about psychological manipulation, and that is the easiest way it fits us to be able to manipulate people into subdue, to give them what you want, okay, and as immediate as possible. And the essence of the value of this lecture also to cybersecurity students is that where you end with your technology is where the social engineering guys take it further by going to actually the people that you're trying to protect by using social engineering. Okay, so this brings me to the slide for our cybersecurity engineers versus social engineering. So you see, a cybersecurity view is basically system-centric, right? Of course, primary target system networks, okay? So the attack, technical exploit of hacking, okay? The defense mechanism is technical controls, right? Your goal is what? Unauthorized data access or system disruption. That's your goal, okay? But meanwhile, the goal here of an engineer is to do psychological manipulation is what? Human-centric view. They want to what? Credential theft, information, and exploit vulnerability. Once they have that access, social engineers are able to hack through your system in any way possible, as long as they have been able to get the data from the person you are trying to protect. They get it from the person itself, not by trying to hack the technical system. Okay, which is kind of low-cost means. This is kind of for the guys who are. This is for the techies, those who are really interested in technology and to know about the stacks, the different protocol stacks and the rest. For US SD protocol stack, what it does, and the SMS, you see that here, and of course then the mobile communication, the interaction, including the protocol, which is used here for the interface for implementing on the mobile platform side. Again, the mobile platform side is basically a RESTful API that connect with the GSM network, and there's a whole enterprise application being implemented here to send back these text messages, okay? Meanwhile, the telephone network and the rest might not even worry or care about the mobile service because the telephone service centers, network towers have been there before. Mobile services are basically connecting with their API to tap into that to be able to make usage of that, right? I'm just checking the time here. So I'm based in Switzerland, of course, working as a senior digital transformation, and therefore it also suffices to then kind of give you a glimpse of also how this also works in Switzerland. Think about it, a different environment. In Switzerland, you will never think of using GSM network. You will never think of that because in Switzerland, my kids or everybody thinks that their computer or phone comes automatically with internet. They don't know that there's something like no internet. They don't know that. So therefore, there is no reason to be implementing a GSM Chironko solution. Therefore, everybody uses a mobile app. Because the market is not there, there's no reason for that. Okay, you may want to implement GSM solution in Switzerland, but people don't see any reason. It doesn't make any sense. Nobody buys that. Okay, so this is how I pay my phone bills. By just scanning, also using an app. Okay, so in this case, the most popular mobile app in Switzerland again is Twins, which is being used here. Twins, use it in shopping, you scan everything, you pay. So basically walk, travel everywhere and just use only my phone, no cash, nothing, and the rest by just scanning. Again, this technology of Swiss Twin technology will not work in the 2G solution because it depends highly on internet availability and good connection. Okay, so the reason for mobile money in Cameroon is financial inclusion for those unbanked population who also does not have internet. And of course, there's no reason for them to be paying for internet because they don't need it. So you see, technology matter and it's relevant to its society so it's contextual. Okay, I can't just copy Swiss Twins and force people to use it in Cameroon when people cannot afford the size of the phone or the cost of the phone, and they cannot afford to be paying for a huge amount of data. And of course, maybe you don't even have internet connectivity in villages because you may not have 4G or 5G network there, but you may have 2G connection. So think about that in terms of how you design solution. No matter how smart, how wonderful, how beautiful your idea is, does it fit? Is it usable? Can people make value of it? And then is it profitable? Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so then think about it. A typical Chironko phone in Cameroon, maybe 15 Swiss francs. I'm told maybe 3,000 a basic phone, but in Switzerland, a simple Android phone may cost you maybe close to 80,000 francs minimum. Okay, in Switzerland, minimum. Okay, so and then of course, Momo. Okay, it works with a US SSD. Of course, doesn't need internet. Okay, and of course, it's built for maximum accessibility and cheaper. While the Twins, of course, also like your mobile money app, right? And also maybe, for example, MTN or Orange or Blue. Of course, the phones cost more, and they are designed for high-tech user base, of course, where you also pay more, because if you have bad connectivity, you don't also have the apps does not work. Okay. I see Prof. Emmanuel coming. I know I have less than 3 minutes, so I'll quickly have to wrap up. Let me see if I can get my video back on the screen. Okay. So I believe you can still hear me. If for any reason I have unmuted myself, I believe no. Okay, so I'll quickly scale through this. So these are all how you hook a user, social engineering. You connect, you get information through a line, and of course, then you engage them, right? So these are things I will quickly jump on because for the sake of time. And again, I'm here for my institution in Cameroon, SwissLink, okay, professional university or SwissLink High Institute and Technology, and then we also design programs where you can succeed locally as well with the programs and internationally. And the only thing you need for this program, the only thing you need is a mobile device, okay? Sorry, you need a laptop. So the only instrument and tool you need throughout to succeed, just a laptop, you're able to succeed and make success with this, okay? So with that, I'm going to wrap up here, and I'll thank you for listening, and I'm going to open it up if there are any questions, okay? I got to find my video. Yeah. Okay. So I believe you can still hear me, and so 1 minute left based on time allocation, I believe. If Professor Emmanuel is there, otherwise I can still fire on. I still have more to cover, but I still have to keep within the context of the presentation. Okay. You unmute yourself from the Cybersecurity Center in Bamenda, and let me know, Prof, if we are rounding it up here, or if there are any questions from the audience or from the students.
Okay, thank you very much.
I can't hear anyone.
Oh. Okay, thank you very much for the presentation. So I said, I'm sure that definitely we will have some questions from this hall, number one, before hall number two, and probably from those who are online. Any questions, please? Any observation? But that's the first question.
Okay, summary of your understanding. Okay, sure, yes, please understand.
I'm sometimes a bit to see that financial transactions are done in Cameroon or in developing countries through mobile phones. While it seems that, I don't know if this is the same in a developed country. And sometimes here you can perform maybe millions of franc CFA of transactions without being identified. That is, you hold a SIM card, and then per day you can perform transaction amounting 500,000, 300,000, and then the SIM card is not registered on your name. That is on a strange name. I don't know, what is your appreciation on that?
Think about it this way. The implementation of mobile money is, first of all, a business solution. Okay. And its core implementation is not about caring about money laundering, except authorities put pressure on them. So for mobile money companies, They care about the volume of transaction because they make their profit from that transaction. Okay. So, but however, each mobile operator, MTN, is able to see the transaction passing through it. And therefore, it's only when a user calls or an authority calls and asks them to block a transaction, that is when they will block it. Okay. Otherwise, they see it as legitimate. If they have not implemented a limit for that phone number. Some phone numbers have a limit for daily transaction. If there's no limit, of course, as long as it's a PIN code attached to it, they don't care who it's coming from. They make their cut out of a daily transaction and they move on, right? So they are not there to be arresting people if there is no legitimate reason that they have done some breaches in transaction. Okay. Any other question? Sure, Gustav, you can unmute yourself.
Yes. So I was
thank you for your
raising
presentation. I had two questions, small question maybe, about the how to stay safe. Never authorize a transaction on trust this light, and I wonder if it's possible to send you some message to encourage you to engage some process that will ask you to give your PIN or your Momo code and initiate some back end process to catch it during the transfer. I mean, for example, you try. I put you to look at your account, and then I know that this requires you to put your secret code, and when you put your secret code, I learned something about it. That is my first question. Is there a way to do that? And the second question is there a way to encrypt the OTP during because the OTP is a clear message, and since we are using in 2J, is it possible to encrypt messages in 2J? That's
a good question. So I'll start from the second question because I think it interests also your audience. The second question is technical. So for the 2G, you have two kind of layers. You have the USSD, which is session-based, where the code goes back and forth. Okay, this is encrypted using GSM Air encryption. If you put hash, goes back and forth. So there is fine as long as somebody does not look behind your shoulder and copy your PIN. But then the problem becomes, as you rightly said, Gustav, when the SMS is sent for the OTP. Okay, and the OTP using this protocol, SSMS7, so the normal protocol which is being sent, SMS is always sent, is not encrypted. SMS encrypted. So the mobile providers, okay, or in the mobile network services, they are not encrypting SMS. It is like that. So that's the thing. So how do you deal with that? That's the problem. So SMS by design is not encrypted. Okay. If you want to avoid using SMS, then you have to now probably maybe work on using a mobile app. Right? If you have a mobile app, then it will not be able to send this back and forth, because if you install a mobile app, then you can use your fingerprints, okay, and you can use a fingerprint as a way of authenticating yourself. But if you are using your basic Chironko phone, then the SMS will be sent. It's kind of really safe as long as it comes to your first question now. As long as you don't share that OTP to anyone. If you don't share the OTP to anyone, which you are advised never to share, then you are safe. Or if you want to share, don't send to anyone, but go to the operator, go to the mobile service center if you want to change your PIN or if you want to do anything of a reset. Because if anyone calls you on the phone to request for that OTP and that he wants or she wants to help you to do something on your account, don't accept.
Okay. So
Don't accept.
the communication
So
channel is encrypted, right?
You mean for the phone?
Yes.
If somebody calls on the phone.
For example, I want to check my balance, and for that
Yes,
I need to put my secret code. The communication channel here is secure, right?
It's encrypted. Correct. It's encrypted, and it's also time-based, session-based, right?
Okay.
So let's say somebody hijack your session. By the time the person press 1 seconds, it's already expired.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So this communication, yes, this USSD is encrypted. Correct. Okay. But you know that the SMS is afterwards, after you finish, when you've taken your money or you send money, that's when the SMS comes to tell you your balance. Okay. Great. Any other question? Or Prof. Emmanuel, tell me if we are running out of time here, but I would like to take more questions if there is any. Okay. Interesting topic. And also, for about digital transformation and the rest.
Any other question, please?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, you have a question here.
More of the takeaway I've gotten. Hello, can
yes,
anyone hear me?
I can hear you. Please fire on.
Yeah. So concerning the work, the presentation you have done, that was well explained, Doctor. So this morning, while scrolling on LinkedIn, I actually saw someone who was complaining about the Momo app. So what he was saying was that his aunt called him. Actually, she texted him on WhatsApp that she needed money, and he actually sent it to her, and he was really sure of himself that he was sending the money to his aunt, because the mobile money name that was displayed was his aunt's aunt name. But to his greatest surprise, later on he saw his aunt and she was saying her phone got stolen. So what happened is that someone stole her phone and changed her PIN number, her mobile password, and now went to her WhatsApp, started contacting people, send her money, and sending with that same number, that's her number, in order for the email to be displayed. So, sir, is there any other solution for that kind of situation? I'm curious.
So that's the perfect example. You see, this is both software, both social engineering plus physical robbery. That guy must be an expert, So, because the whole idea of social engineering is to get people give you the OTP because you don't have access to the phone, right? So you do your social engineering to gather information and the rest because you want to trick the person with this kind of urgent messages and emotional messages to get everything. But in this case, this person got access to the phone, and then you actually have everything you need, right? The only thing is that I'm surprised the auntie did not complain immediately to the mobile operators that the phone has been stolen or the SIM card has been stolen. Okay. And again, one thing I will advise all of you is go to your phone and put a SIM card lock. Lock your SIM so that you will require a second password to be not only a main password. So always do a SIM card lock such that it requires another password to be able to access your SIM, right? So normally the best case scenario is that the aunt, this is common knowledge, should have gone and report that a SIM has been stolen, such that the SIM card is blocked, or money or funds cannot be transferred again to that SIM card, okay, until the aunt get access to the SIM card. So there's no other. So that's the most simple and most intelligent method to have done it. Okay.
Yeah,
but that's
basically when your phone is stolen, just run to MTN. That should be the first thing to come to mind.
Correct. That's the first thing. Because if you don't do that, you might someone may call you who is also a scammer. just trying to delay you, claiming that they heard your phone has been stolen, but that person is a scammer, preventing you to wait and delay you until the main scammer has contacted all your contacts and has taken enough money before you realize that the person who you call was actually a scammer. So the easiest and the best way, if possible, is to go to a mobile center, a mobile money center. That is where you can, because you can never trust anybody behind the phone. You cannot trust anyone behind the phone. People, those guys who do social engineering, believe me, they have a degree in that, in terms of the research they do. So they are really good at that because that is their only job. So don't fall prey to that. Okay.
Okay, Dr. Carlson, maybe another questions from the hall.
Great.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for the presentation and all the ways to stay safe while using mobile. Thank you for all the advices. My question is, you said that Wink is like a Momo version of mobile money in Switzerland. And my question is, because here we have learned that in the context of our entrepreneurship courses, that mobile money was solving the problem that Express Union and Express Exchange could not solve by then. And then you are saying that, and also you mentioned the fact that we don't need a bank account for home, but generally in Europe, everything is linked with a bank account. So I don't really see the similarity between Twint and mobile money, because I think that Twint is mostly an app where you can easily manage a bank account for doing transactions and pay things with a bank account. But here we don't need a bank account. So why are you comparing the two?
Very good question. Very good question. And I like your critical thinking. But so two things. You see, mobile money is financial inclusion for the unbanked population. So if you tell your grandmother in the village who has Momo, she will tell you that her is with MTN Momo. That's where she keep her money, because the money is sent there. So technically, Momo is a bank, because you may not see it because you send money, but mobile money works with banks. They're just an interface that kind of shield you from the financial losses.
Yes.
But they, of course, work with banks. If they're not bank themselves, they work with banks. So they are just an interface blocking you. So in Switzerland, because you have access to also banks easily and the rest, the Twint is more or less also mobile money, but in this case, there's no reason to have an intermediary because the banks are accessible. So mobile money comes in because banks are not accessible. So they kind of think about it in Cameroon context. Some of people, about people who go into the market and collect money from people, write in a book and go and deposit in a credit union for them. In an essence, this is also physical money inclusion, or mobile or physical money, okay? Because they are representing a credit union for these people because they are busy in the market. So mobile money, Momo, is representing a bank for those people who cannot go to the bank. So in essence, think about it as a bank. It's actually a bank. If you tell most credit unions or most bank that mobile money is not a bank, they will not agree. So those banks are actually fighting over mobile money because they feel that they are eating their market share. So it's a bank. And again, comparison, Twint is used as Momo because you transfer money very fast. I went to have a haircut, and I paid through Twint very fast, right? I went to buy something from the shop, I paid through Twint. So it saves that way. I don't pay cash, so it's cashless. So in essence, that comparison, but again, it's a different structure, different environment, and it's a different reason for that. It's a different business model. But it's a very smart question. Thank you for asking. That's great. Okay, Mr. Vincent.
Very much. Thank you very much. I think any other question? Yes.
Sorry, I think they still have some question on their side.
While it's coming up in front, Mr. Vincent, you can go ahead.
There's a question.
Okay, so I actually have like two questions. First of all, thank you for that bright talk. It was very nice. And my question was like, could we have a kind of system for general shutdown when your phone get stolen? Like maybe an SMS-based code, so that if your phone is stolen, then you can take another phone and send a message to your device and lock it down or lock your SIM card. I mean, could it like prevent that side when your device is stolen? And my second question is like mobile money in the current system is quite I mean not fast compared to our actual system that you just need to tap your card in some European country to pay, which takes a couple of, I mean, like less than 1 second. And my question is like, could we, using our system, our constraint now, could we kind of deploy the same system that will be fast enough, like just typing our phones or maybe scanning? I don't know if you could think about that. Yeah, those are my two questions.
Great question, Mr. Vincent. So, so just to be quick on that, since quick. So the first question is, can we have a way where we can use an SMS to shut down a SIM card that has been stolen, right? Using a different phone. The problem, Mr. Vincent, is that I can target you and I use somebody else. Your phone has not been stolen, but I can target you and use Gustav's phone to send an SMS to MTN that please block Vincent's card. You see, so it doesn't work because anybody can just block people's number. Maybe Gustav doesn't like Vincent for one reason or the other, and Vincent is going to the city to enjoy himself. Gustav just type a message, please block this SIM card. It has been stolen. After Vincent has taken eating from a restaurant and then okay. Then the second question is Mr. Vincent. I think the second question, if you can remind me again, I just lost track of your second question. Just pretty brief.
Yeah. Okay. The second question is like the current system is still.
Yeah. Okay. Now I remember. So yes, now I remember. So think about it. Technology is only relevant if it is usable in a community. Okay. If you go and put a Momo to scan to pay, and the technology, internet services is not working or light has gone off, what happens? Where does the money stay after you scan? The money stays in between Ineo and the bank or MTN. So we have to meet technology where it is in that location. So in the context of Cameroon, your solution needs to match with technology. Otherwise, the solution will become in the Western world, in Switzerland, for my 25, 26 years, 27 years, I have never seen a power shot failure. Okay, I have not seen. Okay, I've not. So which means if I swipe a card or whatever, technology supports me for that. Okay, so that's the reason. Build a solution which supports your local infrastructure and make it meaningful to your environment. But wonderful idea, but it cannot be implemented. Same as you have toll gates who don't own NAO. So the toll gates cannot be used. Wonderful idea, but they don't own NAO. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we take a last question from the hall.
Thank you so much for the presentation, sir. I just have a quick observation on the MTN mobile money platform or the mobile money provider, because right now in Cameroon, when you register for a mobile money account, you can take a loan of depending on your usage or even up to 100,000. And I noticed that now, since from the introduction of the loan service, people take loans of huge sums of money, 50,000, 100,000, and what they just do is they discard that SIM, get a new SIM, and they continue using without paying their loans. So I don't understand who endures this cost, or who endures the cost, or MTN has just decided to accept the cost, and I don't understand. And on this April 2026, a bill was passed that every phone coming to Cameroon has to be registered. So I don't know if this system can help to regulate registration and identification of users on a telecom network.
Okay. Excellent question. But you see, if MTN is doing that, do you know that the number of MTN cards you buy and the rest gives them visibility and promotion? So MTN makes money and they're financially able to give that loan because they know that they will still remain profitable. So look, in Switzerland where I live, right, you can go to a shop, you can take a laptop, you can take a camera, a TV, and use for 2 weeks, and you can still refund it back and get your money. Okay? Because, or you can even, some countries in America, you can take a dress, go to a party and refund it back. They believe that a huge percentage of the population will not do that. And even if those who are doing that are actually technically advertising their product, or MTN Momo has an insurance for those who default, so they leave it that way. So there's a business model behind that. Okay, they gain customers, they gain information, they gain advertisements. You've heard about MTN before, and then, so let me tell you, HND examinations was sent through SMS. Students were all crying because they all owe MTN. They could not get their results. Okay, so there was 2 weeks of confusion until the list was finally published by the ministry as PDF file. Okay, so there's a business model behind it. They make money for that. Okay, and government regulation with the serial number is a different thing. The government want to get taxes from those importers who import phones and they escape paying taxes. So they want to be able to get money from that. So it's all about business transaction and how money is made by business. So don't worry about, don't cry for Argentina. Let people use their SIM card. MTN know why they're doing that, because they make their money from that. Okay, but good question.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor, for the presentation and the introduction. And I think what we have just said also extends to the other main operation in Cameroon. Orange money is not always only about MTN money or mobile money.
Yes.
So,
yes, absolutely. Orange or Comtel and the rest, right? We're not marketing. We're not marketing MTN. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe closing words from you, Dr. Carlson.
So I want to thank everyone attending this session. So, and the students, I want to also encourage you and tell you that please don't only think technology, think the problem, think the business, think the environment, think the financial strength, think the infrastructure. You're not the one that can change the whole world, no matter how wonderful your idea is. You cannot change the whole world. You are only adding your contribution to a society. So see where you can add to that society and let it move on. Okay? So see the good. Don't start thinking, well, I have a wonderful idea, but what about lights? What about that? What about that? Well, what can you do with the same existing condition? Okay, so it's very important. So technology is only meaningful if it adds value to the society. Okay, so your course, you are learning different cybersecurity contexts. Think about it in the context of what can I do to better the society and how can I expose it to the business value. Okay, and again, I'm giving value, knowledge back to the society by my little contribution is having Swiss Link Higher Institute of Business and Technology in Kumba and in Douala. If you have knowledge, you want to share knowledge, you want to be a partner, you want to get to know more, please contact me on LinkedIn. I'm based in Switzerland. I work professionally at most large companies, pharmaceutical companies, and also telco companies. I do digital transformation consulting, an expert. So I'm happy to share knowledge. And with Professor Fouotsa Emmanuel, I've been having a number of courses, also educating students on the Cybersecurity Center. So I look forward eventually also to maybe sometime connect to some of you, but please feel free to reach out to me. I'm available to help in any way possible. Okay, all the best and thank you all. Wonderful time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. The University of Bamenda, the Center for Cybersecurity and Mathematical Technology acknowledges your support. And we hope it will continue like this for the growing of the center and the training of the students. So thank you very much, and we hope to have you again next time. Goodbye.